You know, maybe this sounds sacrilegious, but what am I missing here? Why be defensive about it? What's wrong with paying 15%? Money Watcher John Tobacco says Mitt should wear this as a badge of honor. Explain.
I say damn right he should wear this as a badge of honor, Neil. This means that you're successful. This means that you had a long-term planning strategy. You went out there in the early years of your business career and you invested in good companies, and those companies are now paying dividends. The reason that the government gave tax incentives for people on capital gains was to get them to invest in businesses who would then employ more people who would then pay more taxes.
In other words, to make it more enticing for you to take the risk with your own money.
Without question. And, you know, it's odd that we would villainize someone for being successful. Because, Neil, the way I look at it, my parents taught me to go out there and try to be as successful as you can. Try to plan. Try to invest in things. Invest in yourself. Mitt Romney's done all these things. He seems to have an unbelievable grasp of the tax code at this point because he made his planning so that later in life, most of his revenue would be derived from dividends of things that he's invested in. And now he's paying 15%, which is the federal tax code. You know, he's adhering exactly to the tax code.
But it got me thinking, I was thinking Warren Buffett, who had this challenge out there to lawmakers to feel guilty that the rich like he were not paying that much and that he was on a percentage basis paying less than his secretary. Well, then raise the capital gains rate if that's what you want, something he is not espousing. So my point is that in Mitt Romney's case, should he go on offense on this or should he just continue to feel embarrassed?
I think he should go on offense. I think he should say, hey, I'm better than at least 50% of Americans who right now are not paying any federal income tax. In fact, the last two capital gains decreases came, the first one from Bill Clinton, who took it down from 35 to 20,
That's
and
right.
George Bush took it from 20 to 15.
And by the way, in Bill Clinton's case, by the way, you're looking at Mitt Romney speaking live in South Carolina and indications he's under increasing pressure to release his taxes, et cetera, this whole issue. But in Bill Clinton's case, we always remember hiking rates on the top earners, like guys like you. But he also lowered all those investment-related taxes, and that really provided
Right, so we're villainizing someone for paying exactly the amount of tax the federal tax code says he should be paying, and we're giving him an incentive that encouraged him to build businesses. Even Bill Clinton agreed that we should lower those rates to encourage small businesses to hire more people and stimulate the economy.
But you know how, again, the optics, the Obama word here, but you know how that will go. I mean, people will say, well, gosh, I'm paying this rate on my income. This guy's paying 15% on his gains. Something's not right with that. Now you're saying if we didn't have as low a cap gains rate as we did and some of these other investment rates as we did, people wouldn't take the chance, wouldn't invest in these companies, wouldn't do the type of things that ultimately help save a lot of these jobs.
I think people should take a cue from Mitt Romney and take their investing future into their own hands and look to invest in companies that will ultimately pay them a dividend and grasp the tax code even better and understand, well, hey, if I do my research and I invest in companies that pay me dividends, at some point I want to be like Mitt Romney. I want to pay 15%. And, you know, I find it very ironic that no one on the left points out that GE made $14 billion globally last year, and they paid zero in U.S. taxes.
Zero.
Jeffrey Immelt is on Obama's employment task force. He paid zero taxes last year. Mitt Romney is out there trying to take control of the
Well, you're an
company.
exception then, Johnny, because when you and your brother took on the Occupy Wall Streeters and said, hey, look, we'll apply for a job with us. We'll hire you. You risked your life doing that.
Yeah, no question.
But more to the point, a lot of your colleagues are whipping off the tie, trying to look, be under the radar, not be noticed, not be seen.
Right.
Not you.
Well, the thing is, Neil, there comes a point where the silent majority has to come forward and say something. And I mean, what kind of society are we becoming as Americans if we're going to villainize people because they want to be successful? We right now have groups of people that you just showed Nancy Pelosi was supporting them months ago that are standing in a park, basically being terrorists, occupying areas illegally because they want a handout. So we're teaching our kids, go stand in the park and beg the government for handouts and then vilify the guys who have built companies and have built a future for themselves and their family. This is long-term planning as far as I can see, and I think Mitt Romney should stand on it.
All right. John Tobacco, thank you. Good seeing you again.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, American Idol is premiering tonight, but